The beginning of a dream. Whisker was no ordinary cat. From a young age, he had always looked to the skies, wondering what it would be like to soar through the clouds like the birds he saw from his window. While other kittens chased butterflies or played with balls of yarn, Whisker spent his days perched on high rooftops, staring at the endless sky above. Every night, he dreamed of flying, feeling the wind beneath his fur as he soared through the air. But he knew deep down that no cat had ever flown, and perhaps it was just a foolish fantasy. One fateful evening, as Whisker was gazing at the stars, an old, mysterious cat appeared in the alleyway. This cat, unlike any Whisker had ever seen, had shimmering fur that seemed to glow in the moonlight. He introduced himself as Orion, a traveler who had been to places beyond the reach of ordinary cats. "Do you wish to fly, young one?" Orion asked, his voice smooth and wise. Whisker's heart skipped a beat. Could it be true? Was there a way to make his dream a reality? Orion smiled and revealed an ancient scroll, one that held the secrets of flight for a cat brave enough to embark on the journey. "But Whisker," Orion continued, "you will need the help of those who believe in the impossible. Do you believe in yourself? Will you take the first step?" Whisker nodded, feeling a sense of urgency. And just like that, the adventure began, but only with the support of those who dared to dream. If you believe in Whisker's journey, hit that subscribe button, because your belief can give him the strength to continue his quest. The Scroll of Secrets. The scroll Orion showed Whisker was old, its edges frayed and worn with time. The writing on it was in a language Whisker had never seen before, but the symbols were strangely familiar. Orion explained that it was a map, one that would guide Whisker to the legendary wings of the sky, magical feathers that could grant any cat the ability to fly. But this journey would not be easy. Whisker would have to face challenges beyond his imagination. Intrigued but cautious, Whisker asked Orion how long the journey would take. Orion's eyes gleamed as he explained that the path to the wings was hidden in a faraway land, guarded by strange creatures and ancient puzzles. Whisker felt a rush of excitement, mixed with fear. Was he truly ready to leave behind everything he knew in search of something so extraordinary? But deep down, he knew he couldn't ignore this chance. This was his destiny, and he had to see it through. "Whisker, remember," Orion said, his voice echoing in Whisker's mind, "the path ahead will be difficult. But just like you, many others will be watching your journey. Will they believe in you? Will they help you succeed? The path to the wings can only be completed with their support." Whisker took a deep breath and continued forward. Will you be part of his adventure? Subscribe and be the wind beneath his wings, giving him the strength to keep going. The first trial. Whisker's journey began at dawn. With the scroll tightly rolled and tucked into his pouch, he stepped onto the unfamiliar path that stretched before him. The first challenge was a dense forest known for its shifting trees. Whisker had heard stories of travelers who got lost for days, never finding their way out. The trees were alive, their branches twisting and turning, creating a maze that no one had ever successfully navigated. As Whisker ventured deeper, he noticed strange markings on the bark of the trees, ancient symbols that seemed to glow faintly. This is the way, he thought. But just as he felt confident, the forest began to change. The ground beneath him trembled, and the trees began to close in. A creature, half shadow and half light, emerged from the thicket. "Only those worthy can pass through," the creature spoke in a deep voice that seemed to echo from all directions. It looked at Whisker with piercing eyes. "To pass, you must prove your bravery. Will you turn back, or will you continue?" Whisker's heart pounded, but he stood tall. "I will continue," he declared. As the creature stepped aside, the path ahead cleared. But before Whisker continued, a thought struck him. "If you believe in me, help me overcome this trial. Your support makes all the difference. Subscribe now, and let's prove together that no challenge is too great." The River of Lost Souls. Whisker's next trial led him to the River of Lost Souls, a vast, mist-filled river that flowed with eerie whispers. The legend spoke of a bridge that could cross the river, but it had been lost to time. Whisker stood at the edge, gazing into the swirling mist. He could barely see the other side, but the distant glow promised something important was beyond. "There is no bridge," Whisker muttered to himself. But then, in the mist, he saw something strange, stones floating on the surface of the water, like stepping stones that appeared and disappeared with the wind. He would have to make his way across, but there was a catch. The stones would only appear for those who truly believed in their journey. Whisker stepped forward. Each time he stepped, the stones beneath his paws shifted into place, but the further he went, the more uncertain the path became. The voices in the mist tried to distract him, whispering doubts. "You will fall. You're not strong enough." But Whisker shook off the doubts and continued. He remembered the support of those who believed in him. He glanced back at the edge of the river and whispered, "Subscribe to keep the faith alive. Your belief helps me cross this river." As Whisker made it to the other side, the river's mist began to clear. He had crossed the first hurdle, but he knew that much greater challenges awaited. The Mountain of Shadows. The next trial led Whisker to the towering Mountain of Shadows. Legends spoke of the mountain's ability to cast illusions, making the bravest of souls question their reality. Whisker, however, was determined. He had already faced many dangers, but this mountain felt different. Its peak was hidden by clouds, and the shadows beneath it seemed to reach out with dark claws. With each step up the mountain, Whisker felt a heaviness in the air. The shadows whispered his deepest fears, threatening to turn him around. "You are not strong enough," they said. "Turn back while you still can." But Whisker pressed on. He recalled the words of Orion, "The strength to overcome lies within, and the support of those who believe in you will light your way." Just as he reached the summit, he felt a sudden surge of warmth, the wings of light. They had appeared from nowhere, glowing bright and fierce, protecting him from the shadows. "Subscribe now to help me reach the top. Your belief is what powers me forward. Together, we can conquer this mountain." With the wings surrounding him, Whisker finally overcame the mountain's dark illusions. He stood at the peak, victorious, knowing that the journey was far from over. But with every challenge, his belief, and his subscribers' belief, was the key to unlocking his true potential.